it's not as grand as a lot of the training grounds in the Premier League, but within these walls we do everything as professionally as we can, and the players appreciate got an extra little mile for them. It's just great to be involved again, and great to be at the end where we see what goes on behind the scenes and have your little input, and it's just been a great time to be involved with the club. I'm the kit and equipment manager, so generally I look after all the players' kit, staff kit, and the logistics of getting to and from matches, and generally just making sure everything runs smoothly on a match day and training days, and just making sure the players all have the correct equipment. To get the players in the right frame of mind going out onto the pitch, it's a small thing, but it's a big thing in a way that they're mentally right when they go out on. You don't want to be thinking about the size of your socks or the size of your shorts. You want to be thinking about the game. Sometimes, yeah, you've got to be tidy. You don't have a great memory, You've got to be quite vigilant. And I appreciate that they want to feel right when they go out there. I often didn't when I went out there because I didn't have much of an option. I started playing obviously when I was 16, leaving school, and I went straight to Oldham Athletic, where I was there for 4 years under Joe Royal and Graham Sharp as managers, and it was a great time there. It was probably the best times I've seen at Oldham, getting promoted into the Premiership there in the early days. And obviously there wasn't as much razzmatazz around then. I look back now and think I didn't really enjoy it as much as I should have, but it was a special time there, yeah, definitely. I was at the Premier League and I made my debut in the Premier League, and you think, oh, I'm here to stay. But it can just change like that, People say that a week's a long time in football, but it's generally true, so you just got to enjoy it while it's there, and if you don't, then you'll live to regret it. When you've done that all your life, to move into another area of work is hard, and you try and stay in there, and I tried to stay in coaching and things like that, and it was difficult because there's not the jobs out there. You've got so many players moving out of the game every season. It's difficult to stay in football when you come out of it. So I did all sorts of things, I sold cars, I was a mortgage advisor, I drove a white van, looked after my children, but I was just a lucky break that I actually got back in here, and to be back in football, it means everything to me. I don't know if there's tricks of the trade. I think everyone will do things differently, and I don't think there's no set way to be a kit manager. I just think work the best way that works for you, and hopefully you don't make too many mistakes. Yeah, it's a different sort of buzz for me. When I was playing, it was all like getting mentally prepared for the game and stuff like that. Now I'm getting mentally prepared for the players not having something in their in the kit. I filled the team sheet out wrong at Brighton when it was live on Sky, because I filled the team sheet out as well. If I remember correctly, it was when my partner told me that she was pregnant, and the gaffer was like, "Hey, what's wrong with you? What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, my head's somewhere else, gaffer." And he was all right. I see your predicament. Generally, the best time for me is when the players have gone out for the warm-up, because I know everything's here and everything's ready to go, and then I can sort of a huge sigh of relief. I think they just think some fairies come and clean them in the boot room. I don't think they're aware that I'm slaving over a brush. I just love being involved in football. It's what I've known since I was a boy, really. So, playing a game for 15 years and then drifting away from it and getting back in, especially my hometown club as well. And just the fact that now some of the times we've had since I've been back on this side of the fence have been brilliant. It's really good buzz. It's just a clean-up operation then. The players are either elated or deflated, and you've just got to get around them. And sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's easier, sometimes players want to get stripped and get away, sometimes they hang about, but it's just a case of getting all the dirty gear in, getting everything packed up and ready to get cleaned up and ready for the next day or the next games. There we go, another match, another kit wash.